What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Combat Corporation, your source of combat sports. I'm your host, Al the Postmaster Morrow, and today I have a gear review on the Sanabul Battleforged Muay Thai training gloves. Alright folks, as always, I'm incredibly excited to bring you yet another gear review, and today I'm excited to bring you the Sanabul Battleforged Muay Thai training gloves. Now right off the bat, I'm just going to give you my disclaimer. You probably saw me unbox these, and Sanabul did send these to me, but as always, it is a 100% straight up review with no money or anything attached to this. They just sent me these gloves for an honest review, and I always tell you guys these three things. I would never want anyone to mess with my training, my safety, and especially my money, because above all, I like my money. And if I mess that with you, I'd be upset with me too, and I would never do that for you. But Sanabul basically saw my unboxing video on a ton of MMA sparring gloves I got off Prime Day, and Zach from Sanabul asked what gloves I didn't have by Sanabul so far. And my first answer was these. I've never really tried these before. I've always wanted to. A couple of my teammates have them. They say they really like them. I've seen these used in different boxing gyms and MMA gyms as well. Sanabul is a very popular brand, so Zach from Sanabul got in touch with me and sent these out to me. So everyone drop a comment for Zach. Super cool dude. Really appreciate what you did for me, Zach. I'm starting to roll out the Sanabul reviews because I get so many requests for Sanabul gear because they are so popular. Started in 2014, signing some of your favorite athletes of all time in MMA between TJ Dillashaw, Michael Bisping, Tyron Woodley. Nowadays, they got Sugar Sean O'Malley, who's a UFC bantamweight champion. They also have welterweight contender and fan favorite Gilbert Durango Burns and Max Blessed Holloway fighting for the BMF title at UFC 300 against Justin Gaethje, also a featherweight great, former featherweight champion of the world, arguably one of the best featherweights of all time. Some people would still say the best featherweight of all time, but I don't know. He's not done yet, so we can't tell. But anyway, these gloves I was really excited for because I really like what Sanabul does, but some of their things are more designed for like a Western style boxing glove, but in this case you have a Muay Thai design glove. And for most of you that don't really understand what the difference between a Muay Thai design glove and a Western style boxing glove, basically Muay Thai gloves are usually shorter and stockier in nature. The thumb is on the outside, and the glove opens up much more with a shorter wrist strap. That way you can actually like open and close, because Muay Thai isn't just punches, kicks, knees, and elbows. You have a lot of clinch work. So even on the description for this glove, they talk about this glove really being able to utilize the plum, which means clinch, and tie, which means full clinch, on the back of the neck like this. You want your wrist to curve down so you can pull the head down like this. You want to be able to get good grip so you can catch kicks, punches, everything like that. That's basically what you have going on when it comes to these gloves. So what Sanabul did is they took the qualities of a Western style boxing glove and mashed it with a standard Muay Thai glove, which is really cool. And so they made it a modernized version of a lot of gloves out there that you might have seen, such as like Fairtex BGV1 I've reviewed, Twin Special, Yokow, things like that. This is Sanabul's spin on a Muay Thai glove, and I personally think that they did a very good job. Now, when we go into the exact model that I have here to get into the review, you can see that I got them in white. I told them to surprise me with a color, and they didn't have anything other than 14 ounces. They still sent it to me, and it fits my hand very well still, but you can get them when they're in stock in 10, 12, 14, and 16 ounces, 3 different colors in white, black, and classic brown, which I think are really cool. And they only come in a synthetic leather version with no lace-ups. There's only synthetic leather and lace-ups, so if you're a leather type guy, Sanabul makes no leather products at all. They do not use any type of animal products, strictly engineered leather or man-made materials in general. So that's basically what you got going on here with this glove. So once again, a couple different size options, a couple different colors to pick from, and they usually restock in a couple months to a couple weeks. I don't really know the exact schedule. I believe last time I talked to Zach, he said they restock usually around a month, month and a half type span, which is, it basically takes time to manufacture this stuff. But you got a couple different options as far as size and color goes. When we go into the look of the glove, once again, you can see we have that nice like ice Arctic white going on here, and I really like how that looks. It has a nice futuristic lab look to it, and that's what Sanabul always does with their equipment. And then if you can see here, it might be hard to see because of the light of the camera, but you have the outline of the Sanabul logo here, and that is actually embossed into the engineered leather on the back here, and that looks pretty cool, though even to the naked eye it is somewhat hard to see unless you're in a darker light. I don't know, maybe if I change the light, I usually don't do this, but maybe if I change the light you can kind of see it. Well, that just made it worse. Oh, now we made it red. Okay, well, now I need to fix the color. Hang on a second here. This is funny. This is funny. All right, going back to the original color. There we go. But anyway, maybe you're able to see the marking on the back there. But now it's not too important. Anyway, that's funny. I've never done that before. But then when we come here, you can see that the thumb is pretty fat, and it also has a web thumb attachment, which is also white. The entire glove is white, and you can actually see it has like grooves all the way throughout the white to kind of simulate grain marks. And then when we come to the palm, you can see that we have a 14-ounce stamp there, and that's in silver with the Sanabul logo above it. Then when we come down here, you have Sanabul's logo with hollow text going on there. And then it also says "Fight for it," which is their logo, or their slogan, I should say. And I love that slogan because it could mean fight for anything. Fight for your next fight. Fight for fitness. Fight for pride. Fight for glory, whatever it might be. And that's what I like about this. As far as the look of the glove, too, you can see that the Velcro is actually white. Not a whole lot of glove companies do that. The Velcro is usually almost always black. And very rarely do I see someone actually, commit to making the Velcro the same color as the glove, and that is white here. When we come inside, you can see that you have a tag that says Sanabul 14 ounces with the Sanabul logo. I think it says maybe engineered leather on the other side. Nope, it says nothing. But just like a lot of other Thai gloves, you can see that you actually have leather on the inside. Well, the engineered leather in white there, and the rest of it is a midnight black, and that just looks cool. For me, it looks like a futuristic dark tunnel, and I really like how that looks. It gives me that like made in a lab type vibe to it. Now, when we talk about the build and construction of the glove, we can start out with the outer shell of the glove, and that once again is your standard engineered leather that Sanabul uses for almost all of their gloves. Now, this engineered leather is very similar to like their Gold Strike boxing glove that I reviewed. It feels very similar to that. I will say that this feels a little bit more grippy than this does. It's definitely more smooth and supple, but they are very similar in outer shell here as far as the engineered leather. I would have to assume the Gold Strike engineered leather is possibly somewhat higher quality. That glove doesn't want to fit back in. We'll put it there. Because the price difference, those being about 150 compared to about 50 bucks here, 45, 50 bucks. But that's what you got throughout the entirety of the glove. You have all the engineered leather, and that goes all the way throughout the back of the glove. The piping on the wrist strap is that engineered leather, and you have that all the way throughout, except for the stitching and the Velcro, of course. When we come to the thumb, once again, I talked about how there's a webbed thumb attachment, which is really nice. I really like how you get that web thumb attachment. And the thumb, once again, is fat like a lot of other Muay Thai gloves out there, and that allows you to really open and close, and it also allows you to move your thumb freely. You can also see, like a lot of other Muay Thai gloves, you actually have a separate, basically the glove is in two separate parts. You got the wrist strap, and then you got the top of the glove. And in this case, the top of the glove is actually padded. The padding itself is what they call their their foam gel shock. Foam is basically what they got going on here. I probably just butchered the name, but it basically says on Amazon on their website that it is basically a multi-layered foam gel composition that you got going on there. So it's basically a combo of like their Core series and their Essential series and their Gold Strike. So it is the perfect middleman for the gloves that you have on Sanabul's catalog, which is really cool. So overall, the gel material, you can definitely feel the gel kind of squish in and the foam caress it around, so it really protects the back of your hand. And I'd say that the padding is very soft. Actually, it's very soft compared to a lot of other gloves out there. You're actually able to really just kind of bunch this up and squeeze it. The only thing preventing me from doing that, there might be some EVA at the bottom to keep it shape, but overall you can see that I'm able to just squeeze that glove, but it breathes back pretty good because of that gel and that foam composition going on there. And that is one solid mold from the top of the wrist all the way up. The thumb is made out of the same material as well, so not only is it a fat composition with a web thumb attachment, it's also very soft like the rest of the glove here. Even down towards the fingertips is very soft, and it's also very comfortable. Unlike a lot of Thai gloves though, this actually has a big grip bar. I won't say unlike a lot, I'll say that the Fairtex BGV1 does not have a grip bar, but you can see you got tons of breathe holes on the center of the glove. You also have breathe holes on the thumb as well, but that grip bar is very soft. It's as soft as the padding that you have up here, and on top of it you also have some padding on the side here where you see that logo, which a lot of other Muay Thai gloves do. Like Twins has that, Fairtex has that, Yokow has that. A lot of Muay Thai gloves do that. It's kind of to catch kicks a little bit. Now overall, there's no padding in like the palm itself until you get down, let's see, down here at the wrist. You actually have a pretty thick piece of foam right there around the wrist strap, and it definitely feels more of it like on the inside of the glove here. You can feel more padding on the inside than you can the outside, but right down towards the wrist there is tons of padding there, and there's tons of padding on the other side there too. And I think that also helps contour to the wrist because it feels like a standard EVA foam, which is the same stuff you'd have in your yoga or wrestling mat, stuff like that. Basically it's a little bit stiffer, so it's able to like move and bend around your wrist and also add more compression to stop the back of your hand from basically exploding, which is always good. And then when we talk about the stitching throughout the glove, you can see that we have tons of double line stitching. That is very well. There's really no frays too much, but I will say that the Velcro has frayed a little bit, as Sanabul in general as a brand of the Velcro has kind of fallen off on a lot of gloves. In fact, a perfect example is my Gold Strikes, my original Gold Strikes. I got the second model, but I got to take these to my grandma to get stitched one of these days because I'm not good at stitching stuff. I wish this didn't happen, but it did. They still work great. I just need to stitch that down. But that's besides the point. The Velcro on these gloves usually is pretty good as far as what I can see so far. But I do worry about that because of Sanabul as a brand. Once again, when we open the glove here, you can see that the lining has the leather, just like a lot of other Muay Thai gloves will, the engineered leather there, which feels really good on the back of the wrist, also helps curve it. And then the rest of it is what they call their performance liner. And the easiest way to word it, it feels like a dry fit pillow is what I talk about. It's like a poly cotton material, and overall feels very good. It feels just like Rival, like the soft foamy interior lining that they have. That's basically what you got. Your hand slides very easily into the glove, and it is a nice, smooth, natural fist, and it has the feel of a Western boxing glove, but it has all the flexibility of a great Thai glove. And overall, as a lot of Thai gloves go, honestly, one of the most comfortable hand compartments I've ever had out of a Thai glove, and I mean that. It is very, very good and comfortable on the inside there. And you also have a very thick wrist strap, and the glove isn't so stocky, and it doesn't like separate the wrist from the back of the hand so much like some other gloves do, that it actually gives you really solid wrist support. My wrist doesn't really bend back much farther than that unless I really hyperextend it, but overall it is just flexible enough to get really nice grip. And on top of it, look how wide my hand can open. I can get really nice grips right here on my wrist, back of the arm, back of the neck, top of the head. Very easy to parry and catch punches, which feels really good. So if you like boxing in particular, you know, maybe because it's a Thai glove, you still wouldn't use this, but you can really parry and catch punches, you know, parry it, you know, turn it off to the side and then shoot your punches back that way, whatever it might be, whatever tickles your fancy basically. But overall, it's very comfortable on the inside. And even for a 14-ounce glove, guys, there's tons of room for me to wrap my hands. And overall, I believe when I see a 14-ounce pair of gloves versus a 16-ounce pair of gloves, the only difference that I saw between my teammate's 16 ounces that he has of these is that the padding is a touch thicker. So it is one of those brands that does change the padding depending on the size of the glove, but not so much the hand compartment. The hand compartment felt virtually the same. So you have tons of room to wrap your hand up nice and big, protect your hands a lot more. But I can't really feel my knuckles in these too much. I can feel my striking knuckles a little bit, but back here it is nice, soft, and protected. And the protection of the back of the hand, which is in my opinion just as important as the knuckles and the wrist support, does a very, very good job of protecting you in general. So overall, super comfortable, does a really good job. But let's go ahead and go into the bag work so you can see that in action, and then we'll get my final thoughts. When it comes to using these gloves on the bag, the one thing that you're going to notice, especially if you are primarily a Muay Thai practitioner, they feel just like a lot of other Thai gloves out there compared to like Twins, Fairtex, all those types of fits, but they have a nice Western style fit as far as knuckle padding and wrist support goes, which is a really nice blend. So I think if you are like in the MMA crowd, you would absolutely love these gloves. And I honestly think that boxers and Muay Thai practitioners in general would really enjoy using these primarily because of the good wrist support and knuckle padding. All right, so the first thing that you're going to notice with these gloves is that the white really does stand out very much, and you can't really see much of the logo because it's kind of embossed into that, but you can can see that they are a basic looking glove and overall get the job done as far as that goes. Another appearance thing that you could comment on is that they look like any other Thai glove out there, but I really like how the nice Arctic white looks, and you definitely know they're a good glove. Alright folks, so my final thoughts for the Sanabul Battleforged Muay Thai training gloves is Sanabul did a phenomenal job with these. I really have enjoyed these gloves a lot in that they feel just like a nice traditional Thai glove, but they have the protective qualities of a standard boxing glove too. The padding is so nice on my knuckles, the comfortability of these gloves is awesome, and overall the performance rate of these gloves is great too. They're also very easy to maintain and clean because of the engineered leather, which is very easy for a lot of people to maintain and use, and leather can just be a pain to hang up with and keep up with sometimes because it's just so difficult if leather goes and the rest of the glove goes, whereas the vinyl, it's very easy to just take home, wipe down, and call it a day, which is why I like gloves by Sanabul, because they only use engineered leather. The other thing about this glove is the not only comfortability, the durability, and overall performance of the glove is I like that they don't break the bank either. Charging about 50 bucks for a type of Muay Thai glove like this with the protective qualities, I would honestly recommend these over a Fairtex BGV1. I would rival these with like a twin special glove, to be honest, and some people will say you're crazy for that statement. I still like my Yokow slightly better than these, but I will say this is my favorite glove that Sanabul has produced. I like their Gold Strike, but I like these more than I like the Gold Strike, especially for MMA fighters and even Muay Thai classes. I still wouldn't say these are the best pure boxing gloves. I'd go more for the Core or the Gold Strike for those, but in this case, or even the Essentials are good for boxing, but in this case, this is for me is what I would recommend to a lot of beginner or intermediate guys that want to use a good glove getting into Muay Thai as a sport and MMA as a sport. I think these would work very well. They come out of the box pretty much broken in. They really only took 2 or 3 good solid hard rounds on a bag to break in, and overall they have lasted very well over the last 2.5 to 3 months that I've had these now, and I have absolutely loved using these, and I will plan to continue to use these. My personal favorite thing to do with these is hit the bags and pads, as it makes me feel like I am just I love Dutch type combinations and stuff, and for me the balance of the glove is just awesome. I'm able to just rattle off my punches like if you use your Boss Root and CDs, if you ever want to listen to that, you do 1 kick, 1 2 3 kick, 1 2 1 2 kick, 1 2 4 3 4 kick, whatever it might be, stuff like that. Just the balance of swinging your hips around with these is absolutely great, and I love these gloves for that. But if I were to nitpick some things of what I don't like, is not much, honestly. I think the biggest thing is that the Velcro that I've seen on a lot of Sanabul gloves, including my own, does tend to rip off sometimes, and that can be annoying. And in fact, my teammates, he has an Essential pair though, and those are the cheaper ones. The Velcro's also ripping off of those. The Velcro on the Lab series that I had was super weak, so sometimes Sanabul can have inconsistencies with the Velcro. In this case, the Velcro is very strong. It does not come off too easy. It does not stick too much, but you can see that the Velcro is already starting to fray a little bit, which will be a little annoying, especially if you can't do it anymore. You can also see, I just noticed that this part here down here is starting to flip and curve up a little bit, but most gloves do that anyway. It's not really going to change much. The other thing I will say is that although the outer shell is very easy to clean, this glove absorbs moisture a lot. So you got to take these out, let them air out when you get home from the gym, and I can definitely see the padding breaking apart easier because this absorbs so much sweat. Even through your hand wraps, it will get into the padding and break apart the gel, break apart the foams on the inside of this glove. But those are really some of the only complaints I have about these. Other than that, I think as far as comfort goes, like I said, putting these on fits, not to use the cliche term, but it fits like a glove. It's very comfortable. It gets the job done. I like how flexible it is. I don't like my hand being so cramped that I feel like I have to squeeze to make a fist, and I don't feel like I have to stress to open my hand. It's very easy and it's very natural to just do this in the glove. I can get great grips with these. I can parry shots with these, and I can land punches very well. Like I said, I can feel my knuckles slightly in here. If I have hand wraps on, forget it. But it's a very protective glove as far as knuckles go. So even if you have like a brittle type of hand, I think if you wrap your hands in these, you'd honestly be shocked of how good the knuckle padding is, and I think the gel kind of disperses the shock, and that foam cradles your knuckles when you land on impact. Because I can feel pushing in here, and I can feel this, but it still doesn't feel like I'm making so much contact, I would call it a puncher's glove. It's definitely a nice balanced glove at the end of the day. I like that the wrist support for a Thai glove in this case is actually good in that it really stabilizes the back of my wrist, which is always great compared to some other gloves out there that just don't do that. And opening and closing for a clinch does not creep my fingers down all the way. I can name a few Muay Thai brands out there like Combat Corner, Fairtex does that to me. Twin Special every so often does it to me. Top King, I can't even fit my hands into comfortably. These actually have very good, solid, comfortable clinch, and punching right after is awesome. So for me, great for Muay Thai, but I think traditional like kickboxers would really love these gloves because you can mix everything up. So if you're training for a K1 style fight, definitely think these are a great glove to try. So overall, I really like the comfortability, how they feel. I like the performance of these gloves. I just get concerned about the Velcro and overall the durability because Sanabul sometimes does have stuff that doesn't last quite as long. So far, the stitching is really good. Nothing is frayed or popped out. The vinyl hasn't fallen apart for me. I also take very good care of my gear. My only piece of advice, take your gear home, clean it after every use or every other use, at least that way your vinyl doesn't flake off and stuff, because I have seen some Sanabul gloves that have the vinyl just coming off from the bottom up to the top, and you don't want that. So with that said, guys, if you were to ask me what my final rating out of 10 are, I would definitely give these a solid and fair 8 out of 10 for everybody. I think that is a very fair point because obviously they are an intermediate level glove. They run you about 50 bucks, and there are other gloves for about that price range I would not necessarily prefer over, but definitely are a competitive price point for these gloves. Also, if you're doing specifically boxing, it's not going to be for you, I think, because you still want a type of rounded style Western boxing glove that doesn't have open thumbs like that. I know tons of boxers that will not allow you to use these in the gym because they think that the thumb opens too much and you'll poke someone. But in MMA and Muay Thai, obviously that's not what we're trying to do. So that's why I give them the score of 8 out of 10, because they're not necessarily for every single sport. You could very well box in these, and in fact, I would encourage you to try that because I think you really like these gloves, especially if you like small gloves that punch through guards. But overall, definitely more for Muay Thai and MMA at the end of the day, in my opinion. They protect your knuckles very well. The wrist support is awesome for a Thai glove. They're very comfortable on the inside, very easy to clean and maintain so long as you stay on top of it. The engineered leather is very easy for maintenance, and the interior lining in general, guys, so long as you just don't let it soak all the moisture from your body, you will be fine, I promise. So that's basically my whole deal with these gloves. Some of the negatives are I just worry about the quality with some Sanabul products because I have had personal issues with Velcro, so I always factor that into the brand itself. With the Velcro, with the stitching, and sometimes with the vinyl has flaked off for me and others in the past. But with these gloves, I don't see that happening for a while. I'd give these, if you use them every day, a solid 1.5 to 2 years of good use if you take good care of them. And if you had 2 different pairs of them, just one for sparring and one for hitting the bags and pads, honestly, one of the few gloves they say it's worth the investment if that's what you want to try, because $100 for that, or you can just get a pair of Power Locks that will probably last as long as these. So that's my opinion. I do like these more than I like Everlast Power Locks and the Power Lock 2, to be completely blunt. But that's my opinion at the end of the day. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I answered all your questions about these gloves, but if I didn't, comment below and let me know your questions or concerns. I also love to read your messages, so please reach out to me on all my social media pages, whether it be Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, anything you can think of. You can even email me. That's listed in the description of the YouTube channel. And as always, guys, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. It might be a small poke of your finger and a small click of your mouse, but it means a lot to the channel. And I can't believe we're almost at 8,000 subscribers. Absolutely blows my mind. I can't believe it. I remember being at 100 subscribers and my mind was blown, and now we're way over that. I'm not good at math. I'm not going to try and do that math. But thank you all so much for making this possible. You guys are the best, and it wouldn't happen without you. So with that said, thank you for joining me again and choosing your source for combat sports, the Combat Corporation. As always, I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day, everybody.